Hello singing friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. It's Miki, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. And today we are the Ofra Haza Appreciation Station. I'm going to be doing a reaction for my viewer Sarah Mengisto, and she asks that I look at Ofra's performance of the song Mizrach Shelanu, in Our East, on the Dan Shilon show on October 29th, 1998. And she writes that this is only 16 months before her passing, and as far as she knows, this was her last performance. The song was specially written for the program in hopes of better days. She says that the current affairs at that moment were pretty rough and unstable, as they often are in the Middle East. And that scene in the video are Ehud Manor, wearing glasses, who wrote the lyrics. He also wrote Ofra's Eurovision song Chai and many others, and the Israeli Defense Minister Yitzhak Mordecai, and the host Dan Shilon. And then she also writes, this Friday, November 19th, is Ofra's birthday. She would have been 64 if she hadn't tragically died 22 years ago at the young age of 42. And as many of you probably know, I'm 41, so that does feel very young to me. I'm sure for some of you, that probably doesn't feel so young. It's especially tragic for her. Not to say that anybody's life is more valuable than anybody else's, but she was just such a great talent, and she was so prolific that had she still been alive today, I'm sure she would have produced so much more music, and we would have seen her evolution as an artist so much over that period of time. So it is especially sad. She also has provided the English translation of the lyrics, and they are, in our East, the world is created. In our East, it is all still hot. Here, everything all started with the violin and the flute, the violin and the flute. Prayer is still rising, the biggest hope, the biggest hope. Here we began to read and write. Here we began to see and think. Here we began to hug and love, and everything will start again soon. We'll begin to smile again, to respond. We'll start listening again, to respond. Again, we'll start to look around. We'll start again to wait for spring. The East will shine more. The East will return and flourish. The East will shine more. The East will return and flourish. Our East falls and rises. Our East is smarter. So everything will start again as usual, again as usual. Prayer is still rising, the biggest hope, the biggest hope. And then it repeats again. So I think this is beautiful, obviously very poetic, but also very tragic when you think about the cycle of violence in the Middle East and throughout the world. I mean, it's a wonder that the human race has survived as long as it has without destroying ourselves. And, you know, hopefully we're not heading in that direction. Hopefully we can become wiser and learn to live in peace with all of our brothers and sisters around the world, no matter what their background, religious or ethnic or otherwise. It's kind of sad to think that this was in 1998 or 1996, I think 1998, right? 1998, and everything is so cyclical and things haven't really improved that much, you know, if at all. All right, so let's check this out. As always, I'll be stopping it once or twice so I don't get flagged. And information that you can find down below, how to request a video from me. And you'll also find the links to my beginner piano and beginner singing VIP courses if you'd like to join me in those. All right, here we go. Without further ado.
שלנו נברא העולם, במזרח שלנו הכל עוד חם, כאן הכל התחיל, הכינור והחליל, הכינור והחליל, התפילה שעוד עולה, התקווה
sorry, just stopping it for a moment there. So I think the piano playing is beautiful. You know, it's really a pleasure to watch somebody that has such facility with their instrument. And I like the instrumentation as well because it's organic instruments for the most part. I mean, obviously it's a keyboard, but they have it on a piano sound, and you have that accordion. It just sounds more organic and less produced and less tied to the time period. The other thing is, I love when people use the violin as imagery in a song. I don't know, it just evokes this like certain feeling of like sentimentality, you know? And violins are in a lot of songs. I mean, we heard them in Yerushalayim Shel Zahav also, Hakinor, right? And then, you know, if you think about like Dance Me to the End of Love, the Leonard Cohen song, violins are mentioned in a lot of songs. So I just think it's an interesting kind of thread that ties things together in songwriting. I think she looks beautiful and vibrant, especially considering that this was so close to her death. I mean, she has like no wrinkle. She's so beautiful and perfect. I'm like, I don't look like that. She's like absolutely gorgeous and glowing. So to think that probably she was very sick and hiding her illness at this point is pretty amazing, you know, that she is able to be so full of life and just glow and emanate such a spirit is really a force to be reckoned with and very admirable.
כאן התחילו לקרוא ולכתוב, כאן התחילו לראות ולחשוב, כאן התחילו לחבק ולאהוב, כאן הכל שוב יתחיל בקרוב, שוב נתחיל לחייך, להגיב, שוב נתחיל להקשיב, נתחיל להביט מסביב, שוב נתחיל לחכות לאביב. המזרח, המזרח עוד יזרח, המזרח עוד ישוב ויפרח. המזרח, המזרח עוד יזרח, המזרח עוד ישוב ויפרח. המזרח שלנו יותר חכם, ולכן הכל יתחיל מחדש כמו כרגיל, מחדש כמו כרגיל. התפילה שעוד עולה, התקווה הכי גדולה, התקווה הכי גדולה. עוד נתחילו לקרוא ולכתוב, כאן התחילו לראות ולחשוב, כאן התחילו לחבק ולאהוב, והכל שוב יתחיל בקרוב. המזרח, המזרח עוד יזרח, המזרח שוב. המזרח, המזרח עוד יזרח, המזרח עוד ישוב ויפרח.
Very, very nice. So I love the kind of like folksy feel of this song, and I love that the audience is so into it and that they're standing up and clapping. It's funny that the soldiers don't stand, you know, I guess they figure that's probably improper, you know, and not befitting of their station or something, but it's really cute to see the other like young people in the audience standing and clapping and being so into it. I think she sounds beautiful. I love the control in her voice. She's not really like belting very loudly, you know, there's a certain like restraint in the way that she's using her instrument, and it's so beautiful. She's using this lovely mixed voice throughout her range, and I love some of the ornaments that she's using. It's not overly flowery or gilded in the way that she sometimes sings all of these melismas and silulim, but there are these little turns and grace notes and things that she's adding in to embellish the melody line that I think are really beautiful. I love when she goes up the da 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 da. I think that's a really pretty melody. So yeah, it's gorgeous so far. I was expecting from the lyrics it not to be so upbeat, but I really like that it is. You know, it is more hopeful that way. don't know what Yifrach means. Sarah, tell me what it means. Yeah, I thought it was really beautiful, and it actually really moved me. I'm surprised, but just knowing that this was like her last potentially public performance is really sad. She just seems like so vibrant and full of life, and it just seems so unfair that she was struck down so young by something that now is no longer considered a death sentence. It's just a chronic illness that you can manage, and it just seems so unfortunate that such a bright light could be snuffed out by something like that. So it is very sad, but it was a beautiful performance, and I loved that it was so upbeat and that she does look so vibrant and energetic and full of life. So there's hope in that. So I enjoyed it very, very much. Thank you for the recommendation, Sarah. I hope that you enjoyed my reaction, and I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing.